I'm not ashamed to own my Lord, nor to defend his cause. Maintain the honors of his word, the glory of his cross.
Hello, I'm James Brown, and on behalf of the East End Church of Christ located in Toronto, Canada, I'd like to welcome you to Monday's edition of Walking Through the Bible, a podcast where we seek to study the Bible and the Bible alone. Please stick around afterwards for information on how you can contact us. But for now, if you have a Bible with you, please go to the book of Genesis, and we'll turn you over to Jeremy Dieselkamp for our study of the day.
Thank you, James, and welcome to all of our viewers. This is the 72nd lesson in our study of Genesis. On Saturday, we covered Genesis chapter 22, verses 15 to 24, discussing how God reconfirmed his promise to Abraham for a fourth time. If you missed that episode and would like to watch it, you can find it and all of our other podcasts on our website at www.eastendchurch.org. You can also find them on our YouTube channel at www.youtube.com/EastEndChurchOfChrist under the Walking Through the Bible Genesis playlist. Today we're going to begin with Genesis chapter 23 verse 1 and read through verse 9. The text that you'll see on the screen is from the English Standard Version, but you're welcome to follow along with any version that you have. So let's now read Genesis 23, beginning at verse 1. So Sarah lived 127 years. These were the years of the life of Sarah. And Sarah died at Kiriath Arba, that is Hebron, in the land of Canaan. And Abraham went in to mourn for Sarah and to weep for her. And Abraham rose up from before his dead and said to the Hittites, I am a sojourner and a foreigner among you. Give me property among you for a burying place, that I might bury my dead out of my sight. The Hittites answered Abraham, Hear us, my lord, you are a prince of God among us. Bury your dead in the choicest of our tombs. None of us will withhold from you his tomb to hinder you from burying your dead. Abraham rose and bowed to the Hittites, the people of the land. And he said to them, If you are willing that I should bury my dead out of my sight, hear me and entreat for me Ephron, the son of Zohar, that he may give me the cave of Machpelah, which he owns. It is at the end of his field. For the full price let him give it to me in your presence as property for a burying place. We don't know how old Abraham and Isaac were in chapter 22. From reading the chapter, we can know that Isaac was old enough to carry the wood for the burnt offering up the mountain, but young enough for Abraham to refer to him as a boy. This most likely meant that Isaac was a teenager in chapter 22. Assuming that is true, about 20 years have passed between chapter 22 and chapter 23. Abraham has moved from Beersheba in the south back to Hebron, the place where he settled in chapter 13. What happened during these 20 years, we don't know exactly, except that according to chapter 24, Isaac hasn't married. It is here at Hebron, known in this chapter as Kiriath Arba, that Sarah died. Sarah died at 127 years old. That meant that Abraham was 137 years old, while Isaac was 37 years old. Sarah lived a long life, and she lived a good life. Sure, there were times that she faltered, like the time she sought to help God by having Hagar bear Ishmael, claiming he could be the seed of promise, or the time she laughed, thinking she could not bear children at such an old age. But Hebrews 11 describes Sarah as a woman of faith. In 1 Peter 3, verse 6, Sarah is also given as an example of how women are to submit to their husbands. After Sarah laughed in chapter 18, we never read of her again doubting the power of God. Yes, Sarah had her faults, just like Abraham did, just like Isaac did, and just like Jacob did, and just like we do. But Sarah was a woman that both men and women today can turn to as an example of how one's faith can grow, ultimately being able to trust that God can do all things. Following the death of Sarah, it is only natural that Abraham would mourn for his wife. Abraham loved Sarah and protected Sarah all the days he was married to her. We don't know how long they were married for, but it is not unreasonable to assume that their marriage lasted 100 years or close to 100 years. Considering that many marriages today have difficulty reaching 2 years, that is a tremendous feat. Because Abraham was a sojourner in the land of Canaan, though, he did not own a piece of land that he could bury Sarah in. He therefore went to the Hittites. The King James Version refers to these people as the sons of Heth, son of Canaan, according to Genesis 10:15. These people were present in the region, and he requested from them a place to bury his dead. The Hittites could have said no, Or they could have provided Abraham an ordinary piece of land. But because they regarded Abraham as a prince of God, or one respected by God, they chose to give him one of their best tombs. The fact that the Hittites regarded Abraham's relationship with God as important further shows that the land wasn't completely sinful, hence why Abraham couldn't inherit the land during his lifetime. Abraham was very grateful for this offer and requested to purchase the cave of Machpelah from Ephron, the son of Zohar. Note, Abraham didn't want this cave as a gift. He wanted to purchase it. We'll pick up with the rest of the story, the Lord willing, tomorrow. With that, our time is up for today. Please join us, the Lord willing, tomorrow when we will continue our study of Genesis, beginning with Genesis 23, verse 10.
Thank you, Jeremy. And to our viewers, we also thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel by clicking on the subscribe button below. Should you have any questions or comments, please leave a comment below or email us at answerintheword@gmail.com. We'll try to respond to you as quickly as we can. We hope you'll join us, the Lord willing, tomorrow when we'll be continuing our study of the book of Genesis. Goodbye for now and have a great day.
I'm not ashamed to own my Lord.